Welcome everyone to NR Truck Night America live from the legendary Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. It's race 15 of the season for the Gainbridge Truck Series drivers, and with just 3 events left before the chase, the intensity is reaching a fever pitch. Last week, Sunjo Vitoria powered his way to victory and took the points lead, and now all eyes are on the Tricky Triangle, a track known for testing even the best. I'm Tryon Davenport here in the booth, and today we got a great one lined up this evening. Welcome everybody to NR Truck Night America live once again from Pocono Raceway. Let's head down trackside for the pre-race show. So welcome everybody to the pre-race show here at Pocono Raceway. Race 15 out of 20 on the season. After this one, only 3 races left until the chase, and the cutoff line's getting pretty close. We've seen some movement there. Some guys falling out, some guys jumping in like Rago Dorn. It's going to be interesting when we go into that final race at Indianapolis to see what the situation looks like. But it's been a very interesting couple weeks. We raced on Wednesday night at Worldwide Technology Raceway, which was a great race. We saw Sunjo Vitoria win that one. But yeah, it was overall a great race. A lot of strategy went into it. We saw that final run of guys, a couple guys on some separate strategy. We saw some tempers flare between Peter Onjack, our pole sitter here today, and Nathan Stapleton. So it was a lot of incidents in that one. A very great overall race. But coming into this one, a very big track. The Tricky Triangle is going to be tough on these drivers. Racing in the day once again. So racing here on Sunday, a little bit of a short week, but we'll be back to normal as we head into probably one of the biggest races of the year next week at Eldora, the Dirt Derby, which that race is going to end a lot of guys' seasons, especially if you're on the cutoff line. You don't make that one because there are going to be heat races for that one. So some guys are going to have to really be in the simulator on those dirt races to make that one. But as we get into our race overview, in this one, 87 degrees, 14 mile per hour winds we saw last week at Gateway, 92 degrees, a very hot track. Well, not very hot track, just very hot weather, and it was a night race too, so it was a very grippy track, very slick. Well, that's kind of contradicting, but it was very grippy, and we saw a lot of moves be done by drivers, so it was a very interesting one. We'll see how this one plays out. It's in the daytime, so it's not going to be as much grip on the track, but we should see some great racing here today. The draft is really strong on this front stretch, so we'll see how that plays out. We'll see what runs guys get going into these corners and see how these guys attack that tunnel turn in the middle. And yeah, it's just overall a great race. Very interesting how it's built around. It's always been a treat in real life for NASCAR, so it's really interesting to see how it goes for the Gainbridge Truck Series drivers here today. 50 laps, 125 miles. Doesn't seem like a lot of laps, but it's going to feel like a lot. This is going to be a pretty long race, a huge track, 2.5 miles. So we'll see how it goes. But let's get into our standings going into this one. And as we get into our standings, folks, you see that Sunjo Vitoria jumps out to a pretty good lead over Landon Lauterbach. We saw last week he started near the back. Lauterbach did drive his way up to, I believe, third or fourth or whatever it was, but it was a top 5. So it was, no, maybe it wasn't a top 5. I think it was a top 10 for sure, but Lauterbach struggled past weeks in qualifying, starting second here today, so he's got a good advantage over Vitoria, who's starting fourth, but Vitoria jumps out to a pretty decent lead. We'll see how it lasts here today. Likely going to be pretty close between those guys for the regular season championship. We'll see Peter Onjack right behind them, 14 points behind, but him and William Ayers have been duking it out for third and fourth. Ayers is still falling off quite a bit. He's getting consistent finishes, but not getting as much points as he needs. I do think this could be the race that Matthew Hubert finally passes Ayers for fourth and gets those much-needed points. Matt Morley behind them as well. Morley's been struggling these past couple weeks, and he's just falling down falling down the standings more and more, and I think he could possibly see himself on the cutoff line going into Indianapolis if all the guys in the chase today have a good performance. Then behind him, Nathan Stapleton, we saw him get turned around by Peter Onjack last week, so we'll see what he's able to do here at Pocono. Starting pretty well, starting out outside line, so we'll see how he attacks turn 1 at the start, because this is going to be a very hectic start, but double foul restarts and everything, so every restart in this race, if we do have cautions, is going to be hectic, and that's just the track Pocono is. Behind him, Brandon Haynes finished really well in the past couple races. Just hasn't been able to finish it off. Finished second two or three times, and it's just been unfortunate for him. He needs to get that win in. It could be here today. We'll see if luck falls in his favor. David Dixon finally qualifies well after a string of bad qualifying results that just ended his race from the start. But now he's starting pretty good here today. He's got a good advantage over Skylar Taylor, who isn't starting that well. So we'll see what Dixon's able to do. I don't think Skylar Taylor is too comfortable, though, in 10th. I think Taylor could possibly fall to his cutoff line going to Indianapolis. He's not that good at speedways. But next week at Eldora, that could be his chance to get a win and cement himself into a playoff spot. Rogaldorn and Adrian Gill sit on the cutoff line. We saw Rogaldorn jump up to the 11th position and Gale fall down to 12th. We saw Sierra Cooper. She did not. Well, she was entered in the last race, but she did not get the truck fired off. Was sitting on pit road all race. Just wasn't able to get that truck fired off or fixed. So they are sitting 13th, coming into this one 12 points behind Adrian Gill. So Gale and Dorn need good performances to hold on to that lead over Davenport and Sierra Cooper. But this cutoff line is pretty close. But I don't think we're going to see much change. Ryan Little, though, he's starting really well here today. If he was able to sneak out a win, I do think he could possibly be an upset guy to make the playoffs, will make the chase. So these standings, very interesting. The cutoff line isn't as close as it was at the beginning of the season, but it changes weekly, and we're going to likely see a couple of shifts between these guys falling and jumping. So we'll see how it goes. But that's the point standings coming to this one. Let's head down trackside for our drivers to look out for in this race. And our first driver to look out for in this race is going to be the man starting third in this race, Brandon Haynes. You see right there, top 5 in 3 of the last 4 races. 9th at Mexico, very good results. So top 10 in the last 4 races. So Haynes is really solid. He just hasn't been able to get around that lap traffic at the end of these races to really catch up to the leaders and get that win. But it could happen here today. We'll see how he does. He just needs that second half pace. So we'll see if his team cooks up something that can help Haynes out, and we'll see what he's able to do. I'm looking forward to seeing what this 45 team can do once again. Ever since they've got this Chevrolet accessories scheme on since Charlotte, they have been really solid and they've gotten better weekly. And that Charlotte race has really turned around this season, so we'll see what he's able to do coming into this race at Pocono. Likely going to get another top 5, but where is he going to finish in the top 5 is the question. And the next driver we have for the first time this season is going to be the McNally Racing number 19 of Ryan Little, starting 7th here today, 3rd in practice and right outside that cutoff line. This is a guy I'm looking for to possibly jump into that cutoff line race with a good performance here today. I think this 19 team has a pace. We see it every week. They qualify well, but they don't put it together in the race. But I think this is the race that they finally put it together and get something going. Their teammates are really fast. Chevys are just fast in general so far this season. So we'll see what they're able to do. They got a good amount of manufacturer wins, so we'll see if McNally Racing can finally capture that second win on the year here with Ryan Little starting 7th here today. Then another guy for the first time this season to look out for is going to be the 77 of Alexander Rowe. Replaced Jerry Chen about 2 or 3 races ago, and he's been really solid, trending upwards, and 8th and 10th in practice and qualifying, so he's starting very solid here today in 10th. And Spire Motorsports, we've seen it every week. They bring fast trucks. Matthew Hubert and Lana Lauterbach, likely the best teammate duo in the series. So these guys are really good, but we'll see if they're able to put it together here today. Giuseppe Martini, his teammate, you can see him in that bright light blue truck right behind them, right behind David Dixon behind them. Spire just brought all-out fast trucks this weekend for every team, so we'll see what they're able to do. I think this could be the race where we see Spire have a lot of trucks running this top 10 and dominating. And I think Alexander Rowe is going to be one of those names to look out for. He's been really solid, and he is really putting his name on the map going into next season, where these owners are going to be drafting drivers, and likely if he makes the second activity check, which he likely will, he will have a spot secured for next season. So we'll see where he ends up, but right now he is making a name for himself in Spire Motorsports, and the 77 team, Bam Buggy's Machine, is a driver I'm looking out for going into this race. Then our final driver to look out for is going to be the man starting right beside him, Rogaldorn, another McNally Racing Machine, starting 9th here today, sitting in the final chase spot. He needs a good performance here today, and he's starting really well for what he needs to do. And it is pretty amazing how McNally Racing has 3 guys fighting for the last 2 or 3 playoff spots. Be amazing if they all make it. Likely James Daniels not going to be able to, but these guys kind of fell off in the middle of the season. We saw Davenport win at Daytona, the opening race in the series for McNally Racing, but ever since then it's been kind of tough. We saw Doran lead a lot of laps at Lucas Oil IRP early this season, but David Dixon went on to steal that win with that expert strategy call. So we'll see if Rogaldorn can put something together here today. We mentioned it a lot. He has great long run pace, probably the best long run pace in the series besides Lana Lauterbach when he's starting last. Rogaldorn is just able to carve his way through the field so effortlessly and get to the front, and he doesn't have a lot of work to do starting 9th here today, so we'll see what this 91 team is able to do. But that's going to be all for our drives to look out for in this race. Thank you guys for all tuning into the pre-race show. We're going to head down and get these trucks fired, and we're going to be going green with PPG Paints 400 at Pocono Raceway. Alright folks, it is finally time to get into our starting command in this race. We'll see these trucks get fired off, and then we'll catch back up with you guys for the starting lineup in this one.
Start your engines!
Folks, you see the trucks fired off and ready to go here at Pocono Raceway. You can see the starting grid sponsored by Auto Parts for Less on the left side of your screen, but Peter Onjack on the front row. Alongside him, Landon Lotta back behind him, it's going to be the 45 Brandon Haynes. Alongside him, it's going to be the 92 Sunjo Vitoria sporting those Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh Rivers Casino on the hood. Behind them, Patrick Finderop and the number 7 of Matthew Hubert, Ryan Little, and the 17 of Nathan Stapleton. And behind them as well is going to be the 91 of Raul Dornan, rounding out your top 10, the number 77 of Alexander Rose. So we'll see what this top 10 is going to do on the start here today, but I feel like this is going to be a pretty hectic one. A very slick tunnel turn as they are going to pace around it here, I'm pretty sure, unless this is turn 3 or 4. Yeah, this is the tunnel turn. It's going to be very slick, so we'll see what they're able to do. There is a tunnel under this one, that's why it's called a tunnel turn, but a very, very slick turn. You're going to see these guys drift a little bit, but this track is just, it's called the Tricky Triangle for a reason. It's going to be very hard on these drivers. We're going to see how they do here today. 50 laps around this 2.5-mile track. So Peter Onjack leads us to green for the Pittsburgh Paints 400. Sunjo Vitoria, this is pretty close to home for him. Lived in Pennsylvania for quite a long time, so he considers this place his home track. Kind of like Nathan Stapleton, Indiana, which makes the incident last week with him, Peter Onjack, so much more interesting, as these guys both grew up racing in Indiana together alongside William Ayers, so those three have some ties there, and that incident was just very interesting. But as they come to the start, Peter Onjack leading us to the green for the Pittsburgh Paints 400 as the 98 of Evan Morisi is already off the track onto pit road. You can see already, folks, a caution on lap 1. Skylar Taylor got turned around there. Looked like he got an incident involved with that number 21 of Joseph Wood making his first start and the number 81 of Trevor Vaden. So already a caution on lap 1, and you hate to see it for Joseph Wood and that 21 making his first start for Floridian Motorsports. And the first start luck is just not on these guys' side. It looks like it's a curse at this point. Guys just seem to wreck every time they make their first start. Besides Giuseppe, Giuseppe Martini actually got in a wreck in his first start. So it seems like Chris James was the outlier on that first start bad luck, but he's not running too well here today. But that's the first caution in this race, and as they figure this all out, it looks like Skylar Taylor's truck is all bent up to 81 as well, so I assume those two got involved in something. That 21's coming off the pit road now. But let's go check out what just happened in that incident. So as we come to the replay here, you see that 57 of Rox D'Angelo just turns him into the wall there. That causes a huge stack up behind. That 21 did not get the brunt of the damage I thought he did, but that 81 of Trevor Vaden just speeding through there, had nowhere to go. Racing back to the line, it's all chaos. But that number 1 of Skylar Taylor just unfortunately gets hooked there. And we've seen that, unfortunately, back-to-back weeks, and that's been twice Tricon Garage trucks have gotten turned in the first couple laps. So Tricon Garage owner David Gillen probably not the happiest person right now, because one of his playoff trucks, well, one of the projected playoff trucks is now going to be struggling this one, but just a very unfortunate turn of events there. Now riding on board is Angelo. You see there, just like, I don't know, they really just, it doesn't look like they tried to get into the number one there, but it just happened, and fortunately they take a driver out of this one, and they get their teammate in the 81 involved, Trevor Vaden, Two-Turner Motorsports trucks involved in that incident, so it doesn't look like they really intentionally got into the one there. It just looked like they had no grip, and we mentioned that as we were getting ready for the start. That tunnel turn is very slick, and right there we see our first mistake made in this race, kind of similar to the incident last week with James Daniel, Eric Monaco, and another driver where they just got pinched in and there was nowhere to go. So we'll see if this number one's able to continue this race at a competitive level, but fortunately there they just got the short end of the stick there, and Roxy Angelo just got into them. Doesn't look like she tried to, but it just happened. But as they make their way back around here, looks like we might get our first pit stops here today. You don't really know. Pit stops have been very sporadic last week, where there was some different strategy. Some guys took some tires early on and got that advantage, but we're on a very long run at the end of the race. So we'll see if anybody comes down pit road this time. I believe the pit road entry is right there, so we'll see if anybody comes down. Doesn't quite look like probably the number one and 81 come down, but we'll see what the pit road entry actually is. Well, the way the pace truck merged down, it was very weird. Yeah, that was not the pit road entry, but right here it looks like everybody's coming down. Does anybody make any last-minute attempts to be different? I think that the 04 of Tyreek McLean's going to stay out of this one, so he's going to stay out. Anybody else behind them staying out? I don't think it is, so it looks like the 04 Tyreek McLean's going to be the only guy staying out, but we got a full line of trucks coming down pit road, and let's watch what happens here. See how many tires they take. Could it be a fuel-only stop here? Looks like some guys are going to take tires. That 71 is going to take fuel, and the 7 only takes fuel. The 77 as well. Looks like 2 tires and fuel for some, and that really changed up the strategy there, folks, because some guys took fuel, some guys didn't. They took 2 tires and fuel, so that's going to change up the strategy. Peter R. Jackson will drop up a couple spots here, but it looks like coming out with the pit road, wins the race off pit road, this is going to be the 71 Atlanta Lineback. Him and his teammate Matthew Hubert, they both take fuel only. The 19 and 91 as well, so some Chevrolet trucks doing a different type of strategy. That 77 as well of Alexander Rowe, but it looks like this 92 of Sunjo Vitoria beating him off pit road. But 3 Spire trucks make some sporadic calls there. I'm not quite sure if the 07 of Giuseppe Martini took fuel only as well. I guess we'll see, but that is very interesting. So pit strategy is already split in this one. So that early caution throws a wrench into some of these teams' plans and is likely going to shake this one up going to the finish, because these guys, I think the original pit stop would likely be around lap 25, but now with some guys taking 2 tires, some guys taking fuel only, fuel looks like it's going to be a huge part, as it is in real life. We see a lot of Pocono races end with fuel issues, so we'll see if that plays a part here today. But Tyreek McLean is going to have the lead. He stays out, so McLean's on a different strategy than everyone else, and it's a bold move by that 04's crew chief, but you got to take bold risk at this point in the season, so we'll see how it plays out for him. But we'll see what lap we start on. Likely, I would say lap 4, I want to guess. Lap 5 or 6, but I'm very interested to see what this 04 team is cooking up. So yeah, it looks like we are going to be restarting on lap 6 instead, but yeah, that number 5, is that the 5 of David Dixon coming down pit road with a blown engine? Yes, it is David Dixon. Oh no, you hate to see it. We mentioned the bad luck he's had a couple weeks, and now he's coming down pit road, and he has some issues on that machine. So David Gillen and his team just not having the greatest of luck, as I cannot just get to this 5 truck for some reason. I don't know why we have so much issues with that, but yeah. So back-to-back bad luck for David Gillen and his drivers there. That number 5, David Dixon's out of this race, and he's going to be the first truck out of this race, and it's going to be a gearbox issue for him there. So you hate to see it for David Dixon, the New Zealander. Just hasn't had the luck he's wanted in this middle half of the season. He was running so well at the beginning of the season. I called him one of the most well-rounded drivers in the series based off his finishes, and now it looks like that just hasn't been the case these past couple weeks. And as we have 3 races left after this one, that 5 team's going to have to step up going into Eldora, Indianapolis, and Watkins Glen. 3 wild card races. You got a dirt race, a road course, and a really big, I guess you could consider it a super speedway in some cases. So that's going to be a very, very interesting storyline going into the final 3 races before the chase. Like mentioned before, the 04 Tiger McLean is going to have the 71 on his outside, and we'll see who gets the better launch. I'm going to kind of bet it's going to be that 71 Atlanta line back, but we'll see if the 04 Tiger McLean is able to hold his own here on this restart. A very interesting strategy stay. We'll see if it plays out well for him. He's going to have Matthew Hubert, the teammate of him, right behind, but a bunch of Chevys in this top 10 already. Tyreek McLean and Sunjo Vitoria look like the only Fords, not the only trucks that aren't Chevy. So Chevy looking like a prominent force so far this one. They have a good amount of wins on the season, actually. It's actually been a pretty interesting season when it comes to manufacturers. I don't think a Toyota's won this season. No, well, David Dixon won and Eric Monaco. So Toyota has 2 wins on the season, but it's been Chevy, 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 Chevy. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Chevy wins on the season out of 15 races. So very different type. I mean, very dominant force in the Gainbridge Truck Series. Should be there, folks. Let my dog out the room. But now the 04 Type McLean, I don't know what's going on here, but is he having some issues now? Tyreek McLean running really low. I don't know if there's an issue. Oh, I think they're preparing for double file restart, possibly. I don't know what's going on here, but he looks like he's maybe having some issues. But see if they get it figured out. I think they are just preparing for the double file restart here, but McLean thought there he was blown up for a second. I was gonna be like, wow, this race has really got some shenanigans going on, but yeah, it looks like he's just preparing for the double file restart if they get this figured out. I'm not quite sure. There they go. But McLean, I don't know what he's doing here. I know these other guys are catching up. McLean all the way in front. Hopefully get this ironed out. It's always a tricky situation when it comes to better cautions and how it runs at some tracks. But right now, he is riding the tail of that pace truck, and nobody else is really catching up to him. So Tyreek McLean, I don't know what's going on here, but he might be coming down to pit road, actually. Tyreek McLean, I don't know what's going on, but he's coming down to pit road. That 04 team might have some issues here. But as we come to the start, it's actually going to be Matthew Hubert, it looks like, leading us to green with that 71 on the outside of Landon Lauterbach. So a lot of shenanigans in this one at the tricky triangle. And now the 71 and 72 teammates are going to battle for the lead. The 04 Tyreek McLean, I'm not sure if he had any issues here, but going into turn 1, it's going to be the 7 of Matthew Hubert to lead. But look at Raul Dorn looking to the inside. He's going to give him the bumper. The 7 Matthew Hubert got a bump from Raul Dorn there, but now they're going to the tunnel turn. He's going to be the 71 right on his back here. Hopefully no contact this time around. It looked pretty good, so it's going to be green flag going through that one now. But now look at the 71 Landon Lauterbach looking to the inside of his teammate of Matthew Hubert, side by side for the lead. Lauterbach getting really close, maybe trying to side draft here, but it's going to be side by side. No, I think the 71 might clear him going on to the front stretch here. But they keep it clean going this time. But that 04 Tyreek McLean, I'm not sure what happened. Let's see if he had an issue maybe. But he came down to pit road very late. Oh, looks like he had tire damage, maybe a tire rub it looks like. But now going into turn 1, it looks like that 7 Hubert's going to run really wide and take a very interesting lane here. And now he's going to allow his teammate Landon Lauterbach to get the lead. Behind them, Sunjo Vitoria and Alexander Rowe battling side by side here for 4th, it looks like. 4th or 5th. Yeah, 5th. So those two are battling side by side. Fender up, possibly looking to make it 3 wide there. He doesn't, but still. Rowe right on the inside of that 92. Not quite able to get the move off here, it looks like. But now look at that 19 of Ryan Little looking to the inside of his teammate there of Rocco Dorn. You know, he's going to file back in, but these guys are still side by side for 5th behind them. Now going into turn 1, can the 77 Alexander Rowe clear him? No, quite doesn't look like he does not get a good corner there. Now that 13 is going to look to the inside, so Vinderup and Rowe now side by side. And Rowe, I think he's going to clear him now, so yes, he does. But now Davenport's going to look to the inside of that 13, but as we move back up front, 2 Spire trucks controlling this race. Landon Lauterbach and Matthew Hubert as we come to lap 9. Still a lot of battling behind. You see that 43 and 13 battling. Actually, it could be 13 and 38 now, so Peter Onjak possibly looking to get his name into this fight. Peter Onjak, the pole sitter, he took 2 tires in fuel last time around. But now look at Sunjo Vitoria looking to the inside here, possibly. No, he's going to foul back in. Possibly looking to stick his nose in there. Doesn't get it done. Behind him, Brandon Haynes trying to pass that 88 of Clinton Buchanan. Oh, Haynes, he's going to get into him. Bumping doors here at Pocono Raceway. And Haynes really lets that 88 of Clinton Buchanan, 2 North Carolina natives there, lets him know he's there. And it seems like we've seen a lot of guys who have been racing with each other since they were kids get involved in incidents there. Now Haynes roughs up one of his childhood opponents. We get back up, head to that 19 of Ryan Little, looking back to the inside once again here of Rogel Dorn, his teammate. Doesn't look like he's going to come out of this time, but that 92 is going to go around the outside. Sunjo Vitoria, that Rivers Casino truck, he's now going to go around the outside of Ryan Little there, so Little gets a little overeager there. And now, oh, he's going to try to close up on the 77 of Alexander Rowe, and that's not going to quite work for him there. Behind him, Peter Onjak's going to send the 713 into the 43. Very tight racing here at Pocono. That was very close. They keep it going, though. But Onjak here. Oh, no. There he goes. He's going to give him the bump again. Peter Onjak. A no bullshit mentality these past 2 races. He just bumps the 13 out the way. He says, I got places to be. And he just gets rid of him there. So Peter Onjak really showing his eagerness these past couple weeks. He is not afraid to move you out the way. But back behind them, we see Davenport and Nathan Sableton now battling side by side for 9th. So very tight quarters in this one. But now look at the 7 of Matthew Hubert looking for the lead. Going into the tunnel turn. Does he stick his nose in there? Oh, very close to making contact with his teammate. These guys are all bumper to bumper here. This top 4. Rogel Dorn running 3rd currently. Really well for that team. But these guys here at Pocono Raceway running very close in this one. We've seen a lot of near wrecks in this one. These guys are very overly eager to make moves. And starting to single file out now. You see that number 1 Skylar Taylor just lagging behind. But can that 7 possibly make a move? You got to watch all the way around this track now with the way that these guys are laying out bumpers, especially the way that Peter Onjak moved that 13 up. Now that 13 is Tyreek McLean. Now he's battling around the outside of Peter Onjak. Likely not happy with him. We'll see if we see any retaliation, but it doesn't look like it at this time. But now up front you see Sunjo Vitoria looking for 3rd from Rogel Dorn here as Matthew Hubert's going to look for the lead from his teammate Landon Lauterbach. Both of them don't quite get the accident. 92 is going to get a great run in the middle of that turn. He's going to try to pass this 91 on the front stretch. Side by side there for these 2. Dorn and Vitoria. It looks like Dorn's possibly going to get the advantage here going to turn 1. He's going to have Vitoria's going to send it in there. He might have made some contact with 91 there. Maybe some side draft just a little bit there. But that 91's going to likely clear him. Peter Onjak looking to the inside of that 77. Oh, look at Ryan Little. Ooh, nearly looked like he was going to try to make a move on that 19 of Sunjo Vitoria. Doesn't do it this time. But behind him, you see Alexander Rowe getting passed by Finderop and that 38 of Peter Onjak. Oh, look at the run on Jackson get on this 19 now of Ryan Little. Little did not have a great turn 3 there. And now he's going to look to the inside of him and likely try to get this pass off. But you see Alexander Rowe now being challenged from that 43 Davenport behind. So Rowe now dropping like a rock a little bit. Close to outside of this top 10. So into turn 1. Does on Jack in this 19 make contact? No, it doesn't quite look like. But look at the 77. Look how high he runs. He's going to have that 17 and 45 of Brandon Haynes right behind them. So that 77 of Alexander Rowe having some issues here. Possibly not some pace in that truck, and that 17 is going to really get in close in front of that 45. They don't make any contact there, but now look at Fenderop looking to the inside of this number 19 of Ryan Little. Oh, and that 38 is going to get a pretty good run on this 92 of Sunjo Vitoria. We'll see if he tries to make any move on the front stretch here. It doesn't quite look like as we're reaching lap 15 in this one, and a very action-packed start to this race. Now look at Giuseppe Bartini jumping out of line. They're possibly looking for a move on Matt Morley behind. See 7 to 71 battling here quite a little bit, but now look at Peter Onjak looking to the inside. Does he have anything for him, though? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, but Fenderop, he's now going to look for the inside. Look to the inside. Does he maybe get some payback on this 38? No, it doesn't quite look like it at this time. That 38 gets a great tunnel turn there. Now he's going to close back up on the 92 of Sunjo Vitoria. Closing right up to the back of Vitoria there. See the draft here on this front stretch. Very strong and powerful. Can this 38 close up on the back and possibly reach out for a move? There he goes. Peter Onjak now looking for fourth from Sunjo Vitoria. Does he rough him up here? No, it doesn't look like it, but Patrick Fenderop's going to work around the outside, but up front, look at Matthew Hubert looking for the lead there for a second. But Fenderop now moves to the outside, and now Peter Onjak will be under attack from that 19 of Ryan Little. And he's going to clear him now, but now look at Sunjo Vitoria. He's going to be under attack from this 13 of Patrick Fenderop. Does he close up there? Yeah, Vitoria's going to run a little bit wide there, and that's going to allow that 13 to get a great run. I saw that come from a mile away. Now that 13 is going to look to the inside. He's going to have Peter Onjak giving him some draft from behind. Draft is very prevalent on the front stretch here at Pocono. It is a speedway, but that draft is very powerful. And now Patrick Fenderop going into turn 1. Oh, very close. He's going to bump that 92 a little bit. But now look at the 38 of Peter Onjak looking to the inside. And now Ryan Little once again looking to the outside of Peter Onjak, but he just hasn't had the pace to get past him on that outside. Yeah, Peter Onjak going to clear him quite easily here. The back up front, Lando Otteback still leading. So that a lead over his 7 of Matthew Hubert. Hubert just doesn't have the pace to look like to pass his teammate right now, which, I mean, he's been the second best sire driver all season, so it's not really a surprise here, but Hubert, very decorated racer, and all in our series. We watched Nathan Stapleton's league, and it's Racing 97. Hubert, possibly one of the best team owners. And you see some pit stops already beginning behind that 42 and number 22 of Chris James coming down. So it's going to be very interesting what strategy these guys are on, but they're coming down pit road now. But as we catch back up front, that 71 Atlanta Lottaback, he still leads. Up front, we got some lap traffic. That 21 of Joseph Wood making his first start, having some bad beginner's luck in the series. And now that's going to likely plug him. But now look at going into the tunnel turn here, Vitoria and Fenderop. Do we see some more pitters this lap? Is going to be the question. We saw a few guys be some takers that time around. Did they possibly make some bold pit strategy calls? No, but that 38, he's going to really go around the outside. But here comes that 71 and 7 down pit road. They took fuel only. Remember that. Few guys took 2 tires and fuel, and one of them was Peter Onjak running third currently. And now Onjak's going to look to the inside of that 92 Vitoria, but there's a lot of takers coming down pit road now. Our second run of stops here. Now Onjak's going to pounce on the opportunity to pass this 92, but does he have the pace to do it? But now Raul Dorn leads, and now that 19 looks like he's finally going to clear on Jack on the outside. We'll see when the 91 of Raul Dorn comes in, but some very split pitch strategy here. I think that 45 is coming down this time, and the 38. Oh, and 38's going to make a huge lunge to the inside of Ryan Little there. But here comes these guys down the pit road now. They're all coming down. So we'll see how pitch strategy plays out in this one, but a lot of guys are coming down pit road, and it's a busy pit road. So get this camera situated for you guys. Here we go. But very busy pit road in this one. Brandon Haynes holds the fastest lap in this one. But as they all come down, let's see who has the fastest stop. Will it be 4 tires and fuel? It looks like it is going to be 4 tires and fuel here for these guys. See who wins the race off the road. Looks like it's going to be that 91 Arago Dorn. Yes, it will be. Dorn, that 38 Peter On Jackson lose some spots coming off the pit road, but here we go. We'll see where these guys come out. It looks like Raul Dorn might jump to the lead. No, not quite. It's going to split this one up quite a bit, though. When they get up to speed here, Dorn's going to be in second now. But now he's going to have Finderop right behind him. The pit strategy quite shaken up a little bit here. Not really, actually, but... Oh, and Davenport, he's having some issues. I think Davenport ran out of fuel. I don't know what's happening here with that 43 truck, but he might be out of this one. He's going to limp it down the pit road, and these guys are all going to be swerving to avoid him. Hopefully they do. Oh, and Angel Gutierrez, he's going to move that 27 of Sebastian Lopez. And now he's going to look to the inside of the 57 of Roxy D'Angelo. So those guys are getting all racy. And now as we move back up front, that 71 leads with a pretty good lead over Patrick Finderop. But behind him, look at Ryan Little. Trying to pass that lap traffic here, but side by side, our teammates, Matthew Hubert and the 77 and Alexander Rowe, the veteran, and I guess you can call him the rookie. I mean, he has ran most of the season, but kind of the rookie. But now he's looking to the inside. He's going to use that 21 as a pick on his teammate of Alexander Rowe. Now Rowe, he's going to get really held up by that 21 of Joseph Wood. So now everybody maneuvering around, but I think Davenport had some issues there with fuel. Yeah, he's limping it down pit road. We mentioned fuel issues here at Pocono, and Davenport falls, and he's going to be the first victim of this one. But you see, Landon Lauterbach has led a lot of laps in this race, really capitalized on the opportunity. He's got Patrick Finderop right behind him. Will Finderop make the move is the question. But now we see Raul Dorn and Sunjo Vitoria running really close to each other. Vitoria's going to nudge his nose in there, possibly look to make a pass. Going to try to put on a show for his home fans here, but doesn't get the pass off this time around. Now you see Peter Onjak and that 77 Alexander Rowe look like they were battling there for a second, but nothing comes out of it. Back up front, Lana Lauterbach still leading. Lana Lauterbach's searching for his third race win on the season. He's won at Texas and... Wow, what was the second track? I completely forgot. It wasn't Nashville. That was Peter Onjak. It was a race before that. Sorry here, folks. Well, yeah. Charlotte and Texas dominated at Charlotte, our longest race of the season. Likely not going to ever be that long again. Caused some issues. But, yeah, Lana Lauterbach, he searched for his third race win on the season. This would help him in that regular season championship, as Sunjo Vitoria has not been able to get around Raul Dorn, who is fighting to stay in the chase. He sits on that cutoff line. We mentioned it coming into this race. And right now, he's doing really well for a driver sitting on that cutoff line. But now, you see Ryan Little getting passed here by Matthew Huber, that number 7 Gainbridge machine, representing the series sponsor, Gainbridge Truck Series. But now, Peter Onjak going to use them as well to get around them. So Peter Onjak and Matthew Huber are likely looking to catch up to these guys up front. Oh, and you see it here. That 91 got passed by Sunjo Vitoria on that turn. He finally got it done when he finally panned off. But now Vitoria's going to have his sights set on that 13 of Patrick Finderop. We'll see if Dorn challenges him anymore here. It doesn't look quite like it's going to happen, but some very great racing going on here at Pocono. If you thought Gateway was great, this one's been pretty good so far. Now look at Ryan Little looking back to the inside of this 38 of Peter Onjak. Been very ambitious in today's race, and you got to be ambitious with the spot he's in. He's right outside that cutoff line. He just needs one good race to be there, and this could be that good race he's looking for. Now Peter Onjak looking to the inside of that 7 of Matthew Hubert's going to stick his nose in there. He's going to side draft a little bit. Going to run him up. No, he's not. He's going to keep it clean. Not going to quite bump him out the way like he did to that 13 offender up earlier in this race. But they keep it going. So they're going to be side by side on the front. You see Brandon Haynes coming down pit road. A late lunge. I don't know what's going on with that 45, but that doesn't look quite good for Haynes, who needs a good race here. I wouldn't say he direly needs it, but it would certainly help. But now look at Onjak looking to the inside here for 5th. Brandon Haynes, we'll see what the issue is. Oh, it looks like it's going to be an oil leak for that number 45 team. So this tricky triangle has brought out all the tricks, and look at Peter Onjak lunging it to the inside once again, getting the elbows out. Him and Nathan Stapleton both there got the elbows out. And these guys, Peter Onjak, this man is on a mission these past couple weeks, and I mean, do you blame him at this point? I mean, at this point in the season, you got to get your elbows out and make the moves there, and he really put his elbows out on that number 19 of Ryan Little there, as that was very close. Could have ended badly, doesn't there, but Onjak just really putting his elbows out this past couple weeks, and that's what you got to do if you want to win here in this series. You got to get your elbows out. You got to make those tough moves, and he's doing it at the right time, I would say. But back up front, you see Brandon Haynes coming off the pit road here. He's going to be in probably last. But, yeah, it looks like it was a tire issue, yeah. So, the tire rub there or something hurt that 04 tire McLean. But now Brandon Haynes, he's going to be a lap down in this one, and likely his day is going to be cooked over. He's going to have some speed, though. I mean, he just had an oil leak, so we'll see if they got that fixed up there. But he's going to be not a threat, but he's going to interfere with his top 10 because he is a fast truck. But behind him, you see Nathan Stapleton and Alexander Rowe battling side by side here for, looks like it's going to be 8th. Oh, look at Peter Onjak now, looking to the inside of Matthew Hubert once again. Does he get the elbows out this time? Hubert playing it pretty safe there, giving him a little bit of room. He doesn't want to get rubbed up and get his own race ruined. But back up front, you see Patrick Finderop looking for the lead from that 71, Landon Lauterbach. Oh, and he's going to get into the back of Landon Lauterbach here. Patrick Finderop getting to the back of Landon Lauterbach here, not showing any mercy, and now Finderop's looking for the lead. He's not going to get a good run into that final turn 3, but man, oh man, Finderop really getting into the back of that 71 Landon Lauterbach. He wants to win in this series, and he's not afraid to push the man who's trending upwards of probably the betting odds to be the regular season champion out the way. Brandon Hayes now looking to the inside of Sunjo Vitoria, not on the lead lap, trying to battle to stay on the lead lap, but he's going to be interfering in this one. Peter Onjak and them still battling behind. This has been an ongoing battle in this race. These guys here not likely helping themselves too much, trying to catch up to these leaders, but now Ryan Little and Alexander Rowe and Nathan Stapleton battling once again. Behind them, Angel Gutierrez battling with this number 9 and 23 of Nicholas Torres to get into that top 10. He's sitting on that cutoff line alongside Raul Lawrence. These guys need a good point to stay there, especially with how Ryan Little's running right now. Steffi Martini, I thought he'd be better in this race. Not running too well, 19th right now, but we'll see if he figures it out for Spire Motorsports. Behind them, kind of the usual suspects in the back. That 43 gets some fuel in that machine. Saw him run out of fuel there, and that's just unfortunate for that team. I'm not able to find the leaders, apparently. But let's get back up front here. And you see Sunjo Vitoria likely not happy with Brandon Haynes right now, but this is how racing works. That 45 is battling to get back on the lead lap, because if there is caution here, he likely, if he is on the lead lap, he will just line up in the back, so he is battling to stay up front. You see that 43 lost 3 laps on that issue with fuel there. But Finderop still closing back up to the back of this 71, Landon Lauterbach, so we'll see if he's able to make any moves, but it doesn't quite look like right now. But just 45 then Brandon Haynes, you got to think if he doesn't have that oil leak issue, he could possibly be fighting for the win. So we come to lap 30, 5 laps over the halfway point of this race, and it's still been a great one, as now that 13 still in line. Does he make any sudden movements? No, not quite. Oh, he's going to get right up on the back, though. He might look for a move here pretty soon. Patrick Finderop right on the back of that 71 Landon Lodback, who's led most of this race. And I think he does have the most laps led award in this one. He's going to get extra points for that. But, yeah, he's not going to make a move here, but I do think this 13 is getting a little eager. Oh, there he goes. This 13 of Patrick Finderop. Going to look to the inside here. Not likely the smartest turn to make it. That 71's been really good on the outside in turn 3. So back behind Robert Lawrence, still running fourth. These guys back here, after battling for quite a while, they think they finally figured that they need to work together to catch back up front. But pretty single file throughout the track now. Some guys playing a little conservative. As I say that, Peter Onjak looking back to the inside. Doesn't quite get the move off, but up ahead you see Vitoria now trying to get past this lap traffic of Brandon Haynes. He might push him out the way here. No, he's not going to do it this time. Back around. Peter Onjak now will be back under attack from Stapleton and Alexander Rosa. Doesn't quite have the race-winning speed here today. He's going to need a caution to really be in this one, which, with how they're racing here today, a caution could happen at any time. You see that 19 Ryan Little get a little bit loose in that corner there. We'll see if they have any more pit stops left in this race, but right now, a really good lead over the rest of this field the 71 has outside of this top 3. Back behind them nearly 3 wide, Adrian Gale running in the middle there. These guys are getting a little bit racy in the mid-pack there. You see Onjak going to mess with that number 19. Back up front, it's still Vitoria, Finderop, and Landon Lodback, your top 3. At 45, Brandon Haynes, of course, is a lap down. Just trying to salvage anything he can here. Hopefully not wreck the 92 in the process, which would be very interesting with how aggressive drivers have been lately in the Gainbridge Truck Series in these moves. But it doesn't look like he's going to get the elbows out this time. Likely going to keep it clean with Sunjo Vitoria. Not going to do too much. And now Vitoria, he's now got some room to work with now to get past this 13 of Patrick Finderop, possibly. No move done that time. But this 92 is peeking on the inside. Eli might make a move for second here now. No, he's not going to get a great run there in that back. Well, I don't see stretch. Well, I guess you could call it back stretch actually, but they get through the tunnel turn there. He's going to have that 45 right on the back of him once again. We'll see if Vitoria makes a move on Finderop here. No, doesn't quite look like he's going to run really wide here to the outside. It looks like Finderop's coming down to pit road. Finderop looking to make the undercut here. Does it work out for him is the question. Who else comes down pit road? Anybody else looking for that undercut? We'll see if it happens here. That 02 I may think might come in. That 22 Chris James coming back in once again. The 42 Dylan Matiska behind. Matiska not having the greatest season. I think Matiska, though, I think he's going to be really good next year once he figures it all out, because Matiska, one of the more active members in the league, no matter how bad his driver is, still very involved. So I do think that number 42, well, whatever car he's in, he's going to be very dangerous. So Hubert getting stuck in this battle here, but that 91 of Roger Lawrence has been run down by these guys, so we'll see if any moves are made here. But now, as we get up here, get up front, we'll see when the 71 comes down and likely make his last stop of the day. And you see that 45 and 92 still battling behind Brandon Haynes, not being too kind to the 92 there. Now 92 is going to have to run another extra lap likely. And that 71 is going to come in. Does anybody follow him? No. Doesn't quite look like it. Hopefully nobody runs out of fuel. That could be a huge issue. Doesn't look like any fuel issues this time. Saw that 43 run out of fuel last time, so I'm being very cautious of that one. Dylan Matiska coming off pit roads. Chris James. Chris James has been really solid this first couple starts. But now Sunjo Vitoria running extra long. Does the overcut work, I wonder? With how split pit strategy has been at Gateway and now, I mean, it's definitely possible. I wouldn't rule it out possibility, especially with the new pit ratings that we introduced. So anything is possible here at Pocono, but I think this 92 is going to finally bring it down pit road. Yes, he does. So we'll see if it works out for him. And Peter Onjak going to come down pit road with him likely. Yeah, all these guys coming down. So these guys are all running long. Hopefully it works out for them, but you're going to have to watch that 71 Atlanta Lottaback and wherever he's at. So he's just coming off pit road now, looks like. So these guys are going to have to hope. Coming through turn 2. Yeah, I think this 71's going to have a great lead, but maybe not have the lead at all. That 13 Patrick Fenderop possibly makes a move to look for his first race win. Yeah, Fenderop's going to set to the inside here. Fenderop's going to get the nose in. Does he get the lead? This is huge. And yes, he does. There goes Patrick Fenderop. Patrick Fenderop now, he's going to have the lead in this race. But laying a lot back. Does he look back to the inside? But here comes Sunjo Vitoria. Does the overcut work? No, not quite, but he's going to be really close to these guys. And Patrick Fenderop has the lead now. Can he hold on? 15 more laps to go for this number 13 team. At the start of the season, it was a season from hell for this 13 team, but now they have the lead. Fenderop makes a move at the right time, but does he hold on to it? Oh no, the 71's going to look to the inside now. Going into turn 3. Lana Lottaback looking to get the lead once again. Does he make it happen? Does that 13 roll around the outside like that 71's been able to? I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, they're going to be side by side for the lead here. Fenderop and 71. I think 71's going to get the lead here, though. He's going to have that preferred line going into turn 1. So very short-lived there for Patrick Fenderop. Fenderop's going to get a great run out of this turn, though. Does he make any sudden movements? Does he even maybe dump this 71 out the way? I wouldn't be shocked with how the racing's been these past couple weeks. Oh, and Brandon Haynes is all the way up to 10th out of this. He likely still has to make another pit stop, but that's something to watch out for. You see that 77 almost make contact with his teammate, but Haynes, I think he's actually good to go for the rest of this race. He might run out of fuel, possibly, but he's might muster out a top 10 here. But these guys, his teammates are running really close to 7 and Matthew Hubert in the 77 of Alexander Rowe, but he's going to get around him. And now Stapleton looking to pass this number 91, Arago Doran, back up front. That's Fenderop losing some time here to that 71. Does he have anything for him? He just had to hold on to the lead and defend like a lion. Doesn't quite do it here, but he's going to have just over 10 laps to possibly muster something up. Travis Rawlin looking to the inside of that 26 Mateo Castillo and the 42 Dylan Matiska. Nothing comes out of it. A 9 William Ayers battling with Matt Morley. Ayers just finishes 10th or 15th every week, it feels like. He still somehow maintains 4th doing that, so something's working, but when the chase comes around, it's likely not going to be the best strategy. Now you see that number 38 of Peter Onjak trying to get around the slap traffic of the number 1 of Skylar Taylor. And after that, he's going to have some clean air to possibly catch up to this 92 of Sunjo Vitoria. Davenport, I believe he's coming off the pit road. Something's going on with that 43, but back up front, Lana Lottaback, he still holds a pretty good lead over this number 13 of Patrick Fenderop. I don't think this 13 quite has the pace for this 71 here today. This 71 searching for his 3rd win on the season. Can he get it done? But look at the run that 13 got in the tunnel turn here. We'll see if he gains any more time going into turn 3. Just over 10 laps to go at the line. It's going to be 11 to go. But Patrick Fenderop, does he have anything for Landon Lottaback? Oh, and there's a caution out on track. The caution's out, and I'm not sure what happened, but the caution is out. Oh, and the 22, Chris James, Giuseppe Martini, and the 29 of Monica Pato. They all have a bunch of issues. These guys are stacked up on top of each other. Huge damage, and this shakes up this race on its head. A caution with just over 10 laps to go. Landon Lonneback is going to lead over Patrick Finderop and Sunjo Vitoria with a caution with 10 laps to go. And you got to think Onjak and Vitoria probably clutching onto their pearls till that caution came out. These guys are probably the only ones that can challenge that 92 years today. But you see the damage on those trucks. That '07, his whole front's off. We got to go look at what happened here. But man, oh man, this caution is really going to shake this one up here at the Tricky Triangle, which has brought all its bag of tricks here today. And it's been a great day of racing here on a Sunday. We'll see if Bristol in real life for the Cup Series lives up to this one. But let's go see what happened in that caution. But this race has really opened up now. We come to a replay here, folks. You see that number 31 of Matt Morley gets sent by the 9 of William Mayer. Matt 22 is going to hit the inside wall. Matt Morley, and you see that 07 Owen Monica Pato. Angel Gutierrez, watch how he avoids that, but this 22 goes barrel rolling. Man, oh man, what a wreck. We got to see the onboard of some of these trucks. Let's go check out the onboard of this 22 of Chris James. Now we ride on board with Chris James here. You see he just gets sent up, and you see he's just a bystander at that point. You see him get into that grass, and that contact there, that I hit, oh man, you hope Chris James is okay. Oh, that onboard, oh my lord, that is terrible for Chris James there, close to what happened to Ryan Little, and man, oh man, you just gotta hope Chris James is okay, because that was a terrible wreck. That '07 as well, Giuseppe Martini, you hate to see it. Spire had a good day going for every truck. That 29 of Monica Pato with innocent bystanders, but what a wreck. That's going to shake this one up. And Davenport, he's a couple laps down, but he benefits off that a little bit. But now the caution's out on this one. And let's catch back up in real time. But you hate to see it for these trucks that are out of this one. So we catch back up with the action live now. We'll see who comes down pit road this time. 10 laps to go. Well, it's likely going to be around 8 or 9 laps. Yeah, probably 8 laps to go when we come down. When we come to the restart here, and with how it's been here today, I don't even know at this point. Anything could happen. We could possibly see our first overtime for the Gainbridge Truck Series of all year, but I don't know if that was the time to come down to pit road. I'll see the pit light is on. The pit road light's on. Actually, there is someone coming down. I think that's that 15 of Reggie Fogelman, if I'm not mistaken. But, of course, we have this issue with pit road. I don't know why it doesn't show these guys. But, no, it isn't Reggie Fogelman. It's the 45 of Brandon Haynes. So he's going to use this as an opportunity to get fresh tires. But that 29's out of this one, the 07 as well. But Brandon Haynes, he's going to use this to get fresh tires, which is smart on his part because I don't think he was going to make it to the end of this one. So this actually helps out this 45 of Brandon Haynes. He's going to have a long way to go. But 2 tires and fuel, it looks like, on that number 45. He's going to look to use those fresh tires to his advantage. But man, oh man, that was a terrible wreck. You hate to see it for that 22 Chris James, the 29 of Monica Pato, and the 07 of Giuseppe Martini. So we talked about beginner's luck, and we look at it right here. 21 got involved in that first incident. 22 and 07 as well got involved in the incident. So the only guy who's a beginner, I guess you could say, is that 77 of Alexander Rowe, who's kept it going to this point. Knock on wood, hopefully not a commentator's curse, but it's been not a great day for the new drivers, and that wreck was just terrible. That probably tops the wreck of the year that we saw from Ryan Little at Charlotte in the Queen City 300. So now this one is all shaken up, folks, and make sure you guys are watching these whole races. Gateway last week was a classic, but not a lot of guys watch the beginning of that race, but you guys got to watch this race through and out because it is just great action every week. It's an hour, but it's just an hour of your weekend day, which is not too terrible. But make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying our Truck Night in America. See that number 1 Scott Taylor finally coming down, but it looks like we're gonna restart with the rounds. I want to say 6 laps to go. Because now, as they come down here, it's going to be 9 laps to go. So, lap 44, I want to say we restart. So, we'll have 7 to go. Nobody came down. that time around. So nobody's going to come down in this caution sequence. It's going to be double foul restarts. We'll see how it plays out. Been very chaotic in this one, and something tells me the end of this race is going to be fist flying and guys getting those elbows out, and I'm just curious how this restart's going to go, because Peter Onjak, you might not want to be on the outside lane if you're with them there, because it might not be a pleasant ride, especially with how he's pushed guys out the way. Landon Lineback might be getting set into the fence for all we know. So, looks like we're going to restart likely with 7 laps to go, so we'll see how it goes. This one looks like it is going to be a classic here for in our Truck Night in America. So we'll see what Patrick Fenderop is able to do on this restart. We saw him pass the 71 Atlanta Lineback in that pit cycle, but immediately lost the lead in turn 1. So we'll see if he has the pace, but it doesn't look like without any tire advantage that 13 is going to have anything here. But we'll see when we're coming to restart. I think it would be lap 44. See Davenport coming down the pit road. We'll see what he's doing. I don't know. So, I don't know what's going on with that 43 team today. It isn't quite a meme, but now that 23 and 9, I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, we're going to restart here on lap 44, and yeah, they're letting the 21 Joseph Wood get to the back because he is a back marker. Probably the most organized we've ever seen these guys actually get around so much, which is pretty impressive here for in our Truck Night in America. These guys are usually hitting each other nearly, trying to get around each other, but pretty calm and collected, so we maybe figured it out finally on the pace laps, but with the racing here today, some of these guys still haven't figured out how to race. Even if, well, can't consider an aggressive driver, they don't know how to race, they're just getting their elbows out here, but it's going to be double foul restart, it's going to be on the inside, 71 lane, a lot of bags on that 92 of Sunjo Vitoria right behind him, so I don't know why I thought this 38 was going to be on the inside. I was tripping for a second. So 38 is going to be on the outside. We'll see how it plays out for him. We saw him on the outside after this race. Didn't play out too well for him, but it is going to be a restart with 7 laps to go in this one, folks. If you're just now tuning in, it's been an action-packed one at Pocono Raceway. A lot of strategy. The Tricky Triangle has brought out its bag of tricks here today, but it is going to be a 7-1. Laying a lot of back, leading us to green here for the Geico restart zone. That 13 of Patrick Fenderop is going to be on his outside, and we'll see how it plays out. This one is going to be for all the marbles here. We'll see if we have any more incidents, but, I mean, it's likely, but we'll see what happens. A Dutch Boy Kodak machine on the outside of the 71 Ally machine. Who is going to get the better launch on the start? Landon Laudenbach, Patrick Fenderop. 7 laps to go in the Pittsburgh Paints 400. Coming through the Geico restart zone. And it's going to be green flag back out here at Pocono Raceway. Side by side, going down the front stretch. 7 laps to go in this one. What gives at this moment? Sunjo Vitoria possibly looking to make it 3 wide. No, not quite. Now coming through this challenging tunnel turn. Is there any collisions? Oh, Vitoria and the 38, they make contact. Nothing happens that time between them, though. Now Vitoria's going to send it into turn 3. Are they going to make contact here? No. They move to the inside of Patrick Fenderop. Side by side for second. 6 to go at the line. And a Lauterbach still leads, side by side for second behind. Can Landon Lauterbach hold on to the race win? But now Onjack's going to be clear into second. Behind them, look at the 13 of Finderop looking to the inside of this 91. And now, look at the 38 of Peter Onjack looking to dive for the lead. Peter Onjack, there he goes. Side by side for the lead. 5 to go at the line. He's got Sunjo Vitoria running right behind him. Dorn as well. And there goes the 38 to the lead, but there goes the 92 as well. The 92 sends it, but it's not going to work now. The 71 looks back around the outside. Everybody going at it. Look at the 23, Nicholas Torres and Dylan Matiska. Here we go, going into the tunnel turn. Now, Peter Onjack leads this race. Can he steal the win? Four laps to go now. You see behind him Matthew Hubert side by side with that 91 of Dorn. But now look at the 17 of Nathan Stapleton. He might dive it underneath them. No, Stapleton's not going to get a great run there. Back up front, the 38, he's going to need a good turn here. Going into the tunnel turn, he's going to have that 71 Landon Lauterbach right behind him. Lauterbach, does he get a good run coming out of the tunnel turn? We'll see. Back behind him, Alexander Rose still battling to stay inside this top 10 to get his first top 10 of his career. Three laps to go now at the line. This one is shaping up to be a great finish. Onjack, Lauterbach, Vitoria, Finderup, Hubert. Who is going to win here at Pocono? There goes that 71 to the inside. The 38 is going to scoot around the outside. He's got a great run. Now, that 92 is looking to the inside of his championship rival, the 71 of Landon Lauterbach. He does not get a good run. Does he send it into the tunnel turn? Of course, this is Vitoria's home race. Resided in Pittsburgh for quite a while, sees this place as his home, quite similar to Angel Gutierrez in Mexico. But no, he doesn't get the move off now. They're coming to 2 to go. Peter Onjack looking to steal the win here at the tricky triangle from the 71 Landon Lauterbach, and he's looking for his second race win on the season. Now Lauterbach looks like he might try to go outside here. This is going to be very tight racing going into the tunnel turn. To the inside goes the 71 Landon Lauterbach. But he doesn't have anything, I don't think. Oh, nearly making contact, it looked like, for a second. But as they come into turn 3, we're going to see the white flag here at Pocono. And now look at Vitoria looking to the inside of the 71. White flag is out for the Pittsburgh Paints 400. Side by side for second behind, Sunjo Vitoria and Landon Lauterbach. Every point matters here in the Gainbridge Truck Series. Patrick Finderop behind. He's holding on to third. Does he possibly make a move to get... fourth. Does he possibly make a move to get third here from the 92 of Sunjo Vitoria? Any last-minute lunges? No, not quite. But coming around, unless the 71 makes any last-minute moves, it looks like Peter Onjack is going to be victorious here at Pocono. coming to turns 3. And coming to the line, Peter Onjak. He's going to win the Pittsburgh Paints 400 and get his second race win on the season. Peter Onjak's going to steal it here at Pocono. Second's going to be Landon Lauterbach. Led the most laps in this race, but doesn't get it done. Vitoria's going to finish 3rd. 4th, Fender up. Behind the Matthew Hubert, Rob Dorn, he gets a great finish. Ryan Little, he gets a good finish as well. Alexander Rowe gets his first top 10 on his career. Nicholas Torres is going to round out the top 10. He gets a good finish once again here today. William Ayers, Adrian Gill. Gale's going to probably further his lead on that cutoff line as Davenport and the field did not have too many good days. But Landon Lauterbach loses it, and now it's going to be the 38 of Peter Onjak burning it down. And then we'll get into our finishing results in this race. But Peter Onjak, he steals the win here at Pocono, and he wins the PPG 400. As we get into your finishing results in this race, is that 38 to Peter Onjak burned it down. Peter Onjak wins. The 71 Landon Lauterbach's going to follow right behind them, finishing 2nd. Behind them, Sunjo Vitoria. So Vitoria and Lauterbach going to be in a tight point battle, but that 38 might finally get into 3rd here over. Well, no, I think he's already in 3rd, but that Matthew Hubert is actually going to probably get into 4th over William Ayers. William Ayers is going to finish 11th, so probably his best result he's seen in quite a while. But we mentioned it. Alexander Rowe gets his first top 10 on the season. Ryan Little and Raul Dorn stepped up to the challenge this week. Both McNally Racing, they stepped up to the challenge. They're both sitting on the cutoff line, and Ryan Little might be battling his teammate going into Indianapolis, the final race of the regular season for that final playoff spot, unless Adrian Gale drops it, which he finished 13th, so it wasn't the greatest day. Hubert and Sableton finished pretty well. Fenderop had a great race. We saw him involved in that battle. Just didn't quite have anything there at the end. Behind them, Rollins finished pretty good. Buchanan had a good result. We saw Lopez here. We saw him get into some contact with some guys. Eric Monaco, Reggie Fogelman. And you see a couple of incidents here. Davenport just ran into a lot of bad luck here today. Joseph Wood as well. Skylar Taylor, we saw those guys get involved in that lap 1 incident. Behind them, Evan Marisi in the 98. He retired eventually. Didn't retire off the. I'm not sure what happened. Don't really remember the 29 and 07 22 guy in that horrific incident. Hopefully that 22 Chris James is okay. That was very bad. The 04 of Tyrick McLean. He had a tire rub or something that completely destroyed his race. He's out of this one. We saw David Dixon leave early on with the gearbox issue. But rounding out our cars on lead lap was that 11 and 45 Brandon Haynes. Haynes, I thought that pit stop he would be back on pace, but for some reason after that pit stop, I don't know if they made an adjustment he didn't like, but it just did not work out for him because he actually ran off pace after that. So don't know if it was cold tires or something that transpired there, but it wasn't quite good for that number 45 team, and that's not a great day. But with how he's been lately, I don't think he's going to be in too much danger. He probably will be close to that cutoff line, but with how Haynes has been running this season, Eldora is going to be a huge challenge, but I think he is going to be good. But, yeah. So thank you all for tuning in. Eldora is going to be next week. We'll have the heat races likely on a Saturday night, and then we'll have the main race on Sunday. So it'll be a very interesting weekend there at Eldora. It's going to make or break a couple of guys this season. Thank you guys all for tuning in to Pocono. It's going to be Charlie Davenport signing off. Thank you all for watching this one. Check out our partners, PGMA and BML, 2 great leagues, and some other leagues. See the Discord link in the description for our league. Join. Next season is just upon us. Well, not the silly season for next season is just upon us, so you might want to check that out. But that is going to be Charlie Davenport signing off. Enjoy your Sunday nights, and thank you all for watching in our Truck Night America and see these Gainbridge Truck Series drivers take on the Tricky Triangle.